True Capitalist Radio. I'm the badass of business and the prognosticator of prognosticators. Give CIA levels of assessments, predicting the future. The future. The future. It's time for True Capitalist Radio. Turn that shit up. It's time for True Capitalist Radio. Turn that shit up. Sparking synapses in the internet underground. Everyone knows who I am. The world is my chessboard and war is the tool of the game. Don't hate me, I'm just a messenger. Say what you want about me, but I speak the truth. The truth, the truth. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. It's time for True Capitalist Radio. Turn that shit up. It's time for True Capitalist Radio. Turn that shit up. Now get ready. True Capitalist Radio starts now. Right now. Fucking punks. Fucking punks. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Fucking punks.
What's going on, folks? And thank you for tuning in with me to another edition of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And of course, I am your host, the man they call Ghost. And I want to thank you all for tuning in with me today. It is episode number 748. Episode number 748 for all the folks that are keeping track of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And before we get into anything else, I'd like to ask everybody to please spread this show across the internets and throughout the world. And let everybody you know, let them all know that the True Capitalist Radio broadcast is in effect and in the house. It is April 21st, 2025. And boy, do I have a lot to talk about today. First and foremost, I want to begin by saying that the X or Twitter account that I have is locked out. And the reasoning for it, even though you can get pornography, people can openly threaten people on there. There's all kinds of gore, all kinds of stuff on X and Twitter, which I'm not criticizing. What I'm criticizing is that I got locked out of my account because I replied to one of the posts by one Russell Brand, the current right-wing charlatan. I told him to do a flip. All right, that's it. It is a known meme. It is something that is nonchalant. All right? I mean, give me a break. I got locked out because of this idiot Russell Brand, because I told him to do a flip. And by the way, I got somebody in my chat room right there. You see, that's Kits Does a Flip. All right? Are they going to ban me because I have somebody named Kits Does a Flip? So anyway, I can't do anything on X until, I guess, Saturday night or whenever the fuck I did that stupid, ridiculous post to Russell Brand. And by the way, Russell Brand, fuck you. You fucking right-wing charlatan piece of trash. And Elon Musk, give me a break, all right? Give me a break. But anyway, he's probably not going to be in a rush. And I'm talking about Elon Musk to unban my Twitter because we got a lot of criticism going towards him and the administration today. Boy, did I tell you all. Did I tell you all in 2024 that all the things that are transpiring now were going to transpire? The only thing that has not happened yet and I think that these are coming, is a pandemic that's going to shut down the country once again, and or a attack on American soil by a nation state, by the way. Now, this was not hard to predict. I tried to tell each and every one of you that listened to me throughout 2024, all these chain of events were about to happen. Now, let me tell you something. If you plan to retire in the next 10 years, you better, make plans, all right, because it doesn't look good. All right, it doesn't look good. Put the PC shot on. Take a look at the goddamn Dow, the S&P, the NASDAQ. I mean, they actually came up. It was almost touching 3.5%, 4% in some indices. And then, of course, you got these idiots, buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip. And we got some buybacks towards the end of the day, as you can see on these charts. But I'll tell you this right now, I am not touching this market. And I've been trying to advocate on this broadcast that everybody should be accumulating cash. And I said, and you should also put gold and silver specifically in your profile, your portfolio, excuse me. And as a result, if you would have done that ever since I called for it in March of 2022, remember in March of 2022, that's when the Federal Reserve decided to raise rates. And I even had an episode, a show that you can still find. The Federal Reserve is going to change the economy. Well, not only did the Federal Reserve change the economy, whatever the hell Trump is doing is changing the economy. And we're going to talk about that here in a second, but it's the tariffs. All right, first and foremost. And secondly, what is this about him suggesting that he has the power to fire Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell? How does this guy get this? Because, look, let me explain something. For everybody that's a critic of the Fed, there's a lot of criticism to go there. I understand. But you people need to realize that if the government intervenes in the independence of the Fed, that kind of jeopardizes the integrity of the U.S. dollar. And it's questionable. And what is this? Jake is okay. Pope Francis equals yet another victim of the inner circle. Well, we're going to talk about that here in a minute. All right, we're into the business stuff, and I'm glad you're listening, Jack is okay. I mean, I hope that you could get something from what I'm about to say here. But anyway, the suggestion that he could fire Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell is unbelievable. Is unbelievable, and that's what the market is reacting to, all right? Okay, then today, all right, as the trading day started, this is what the damn traders were trading, or they were selling off on the fact that the president was even questioning whether or not he could fire him. And, of course, he can't fire him. He's got to fulfill his term. I think Powell's term ends in 2026. And, as you heard on the last public speaking of Jerome Powell, he plans on fulfilling his obligation until 2026. Put the PC shot on today as the day trading started. Trump ramped up his attacks on Powell, demanding, quote, loser Fed chairman, lower rates now. And I told you this was going to happen. As a matter of fact, that's why Trump is crashing the economy, in my personal opinion, is because he wants low rates, because you print the money. I mean, all of a sudden, people have more of it, but the consequence of printing more money is inflation, which was the whole objective of the Fed on raising rates to begin with, is to curb inflation. Now, what Trump is doing, in my opinion, and I called this as the Doge cuts were happening, I'm talking all these massive cuts in jobs in government, is he's trying to force the Fed, okay, to deal with unemployment, which he is currently trying to induce a massive amount of unemployment, because the Fed has two mandates. One mandate is price control, which is inflation, and the other one is jobs and unemployment. And if unemployment supersedes the need of taking care of inflation, then it'll force the Fed, whether it's their personal interest or not, to lower rates in order to offset the high unemployment that's incurring. So this is what's happening right now. And I really hope that Trump, kind of lays off this talk with the Federal Reserve. I mean, if he's going to crash the economy, just shut up and do it, and then force the Fed to take its eye off of the price controls, the inflation, what it's currently doing now, and focus on unemployment, which you are inducing there, Trump. All right? Don't ramp up these damn attacks on the Fed. The market's going to lose confidence. So if you're wondering why you're seeing so much goddamn red, That's why. And if you think that you're going to retire in the next 10 years, well, I think you better have better plans, or I better think of something else. Anyway, let's take a look at the Dow. It is down today 2.48%, closing out the Dow Jones Industrial at 38,170.41 points for the Dow Jones Industrial. The S&P 500 is also down 2.36% on the day, closing out the S&P at 5,158.20 points for the S&P 500. We've got the NASDAQ also down today, 2.55%. NASDAQ closing out today at 15,870.90 points for the NASDAQ composite. And let me take some of these Rumble rants here. We got Old Man Frank. F you, Tubby, you banned me from doing $1 donos. No, I don't have power to do that. All right, I'm a piece of shit, by the way. Old Man Frank, my fans, by the way, give me Rumble rants. And Stalin, you're still in the hospital. I hope everything's good for you. And all right, cheers to everybody out there in Rumble, man. Anyway, let's get back to the markets. Take a look at gold. All right, as a matter of fact, let's just go ahead and take a look at commodities in general so we can see what has happened. And remember, we're 4 months, almost 5 months into this administration. Remember, this administration came in claiming that they were going to bring prices down. Everything's going to be rosy. Everything's going to be great. Let's take a look. First of all, oil. I'll give them credit that they're a drill baby drill administration, and offsetting the oil prices, and hopefully this translates into very, very low gas prices, could offset some of the inflation caused by the tariffs by Trump, but I don't know. I mean, that's a risky bet. Let's just put it that way. And Devious Dave with a Rumble rant, did you see the crazy shit Kanye said today about his cousin? No, I don't really keep up with Kanye. Sorry about that, man. And cheers to Stalin USSR again with another dollar Rumble rant. Anyway, crude oil, it is down today, $2.66. Current price for crude oil, $62.01. So very low prices for oil right now. But let's get those gasoline prices down. And as I stated in the previous show, the reason that we're not seeing it translate into the gasoline prices so fast is because we don't have that many refineries that refine crude oil into gasoline, and that's been held up for years. All right, let's see if Trump does something about that. Anyway, as you can see, energy pretty much in the red. The only thing that's probably in the green is the UK gas market, which unfortunately UK has a different price point when it comes to their energy prices. Same with the rest of Europe than the United States. But pretty much in the red when it comes to the energy prices. Now look at metals. Let's get to the goddamn metals. We got gold, all right, up $97.75 today, up 2.94%. Current price for gold is $3,424.02. All right, not even kidding around. All right, not even kidding around. And look, I think there's room to grow on this. I don't think that you're going to get the bang for your buck in the long term that you will on silver. I think that you guys that were accumulating gold at $1,500, at $1,600, which I was trying to accumulate as much as I possibly can, you're already getting paid off. And if you hold on a little more, I think that you'd be able to liquidate it at a very generous price, which I'll be honest with you, you're going to need it in this fucking administration. But silver right now still looks very attractive to me. I think that the average everyday person right now, if you want to go into safety, is accumulate silver. It is a very decent price point. The last time that we had an economic crisis, which was in 2009, we saw the damn silver price go to about $60. I think it could go up to $100 easy. And moreover, as we all know, we're in times of uncertainty. If something, God forbid, because look, I think everything's on the table right now when it comes to the potential of what could happen to us economically. As I was mentioning earlier, Trump going after Powell, suggesting that he could fire him, trying to force him to, lower rates and calling him a loser. I mean, that jeopardizes our dollar, the dollars that we have in our savings accounts, the dollars that we have in our pockets. If Trump decides to supersede his authority and fire Powell, I don't know if our damn dollars are worth anything anymore. So that's why I'm telling everybody right now, if you want some safety, silver is very good, or if you have a lot of capital already, obviously gold and silver. They look very, very attractive right now. And if something collapses on the dollar, people will still trade for gold and silver. It will be the default exchange mechanism. All right. And somebody claiming to be Review Brawl with a Rumble rant, claiming that I used to be Mossad or I'm Mossad. Just shut up. All right. Shut your mouth. Anyway, as you can see, mostly green on the metal side. Let's take a look at agriculture. Now, what did I tell you at the beginning of this administration? What did I tell you even in 2024? I said the first thing that's going to happen whenever Trump implements these tariffs is that they're going to cut the contracts to the farmers in the United States. Okay? And at first, what's going to happen? You're going to see an increase. And then once Trump implements the tariffs, you're going to see a dramatic decrease because the canceled contracts of these yields from these farmers, I mean, they still have to hold the commodity. And the commodity has a finite amount of time before it spoils or before it's no good. So that's what's causing the massive price decrease. And as I stated back then, that the goddamn president was going to take a fucking victory lap for this shit. But I'm telling you right now, the fucking devastation that this is causing, Trump is going to have to bail out the farmers, which that I think is already in the works from what I've read. And at the same time, the farmers are not going to yield the same amount of food because they no longer have these contracts that were going out to China and other folks that have canceled their contracts with U.S. agriculture and livestock. So right now, you're seeing a lot of red. All right, you're seeing a lot of red out here when it comes to the commodities. And, of course, Trump is taking a victory lap for that. But I caution you, all right, here next year, these prices are going to come back to the peak and then some because of the side effect of these canceled contracts and the bailout of the farmers and how farmers are not going to yield as much as they used to. So we're going to have, as much as we are self-inducing ourselves into this economic crisis, we could be self-inducing ourselves into a food crisis, if you want my opinion. All right, and of course, this is all the industrial stuff. All right, this is all the rare earths and shit. And as you can see, all the rare earths are in the green. Take a look at tellurium. It's up 24.3% year to date. Urea is fucking up 3.82%. All right, so you got all these rare earths. Why? Because everybody needs these rare earths in order to make these tech gadgets, in order to make the robots, in order to make the chips. All right, I mean, that's very important. That's what wars are going to be fought for in the future. Not even kidding. All right, let's get to everybody's favorite, which is the beef. The beef. Let's take a look at cattle feeder. It is down, looks like today, but if you take a look at year to date, it is up 8.34%. So we need it to come down considerably. All right, let's take a look at the chart on cattle feeder for the year. Take a look at that. I mean, that speaks volumes. I mean, we are coming down somewhat, but, that's what they feed the cow, for heaven's sake. Let's take a look at live cattle. It is up 9.83% year to date. Let's take a look at the chart. I hate looking at charts like that. I mean, I'm paying like $35 for a goddamn a chuck ribeye steak, for heaven's sake. Now, they are thick and shit, but, give me a break, man. That's why everybody's getting sick, if you want my opinion. I think people are forced to, out of necessity, out of price, kind of consume nothing but a bunch of processed crap. And I'll be honest with you, I consume so much whole food. I'm talking like grass-fed cattle, and I consume a lot of vegetables and fruits because I drink. I smoke. So, you got to counterbalance. I had something pre-processed the other night because it was just something that I was tired. I threw something. It was fucking Chef Boyardee or something. I threw some crackers in there or something. Ate it really. I was tired. Mrs. Ghost, she was tired. And let me tell you, I felt like a piece of shit the next day. I swear to Christ, I felt like horrible. Not to say physically horrible, my mental state. So you are what you eat, man. All right, I'm telling you this, you are what you eat. And Devious Dave, some good news. Klaus Schwab got fired. The bugs are off the menu. No, they're not. I'm going to talk about that later on, Devious Dave. I'm glad you brought it up. But anyway, it's the placebo effect. Bullshit, dude. All right? I actually like the beefaroni. I'm not a plug. This is not an endorsement. I'm not getting paid for this. This is my personal review. Out of all the Chef Boyardee catalog, I think the beefaroni is the best. All right? But I ate that shit, and I felt like shit. All right? So I'm just saying. I mean, I still have it in the cupboard with tuna and all kinds of canned goods just in case fucking society collapses. Believe me, I always have a stash of shit like that on hand. All right, because you never know. I'm not trying to be a prepper or anything, but dude, we're in so much uncertainty. I don't know what the fuck's going to happen. Anyway, once again, let's get back to live cattle. We were up 9.38% on the year to date. Lean hog is also up to 12.03% year to date. Let's take a look at the chart on that. Well, it's medium range, all right, medium range. But we should be seeing that price come down because the big consumer of lean hog is Asia, particularly China. Now, let's look at the general beef prices. Look at year over year, 40.77% increase. Are we still at all-time highs? We're coming down from all-time highs. All right, but we're still, I mean, come on, man. We're the best beef producers in the world. Why is this beef price so fucking high? Anyway, instead of me bitching about beef prices, let's go on with it. All right, thank you very much. That concludes the market portion of the broadcast. And let's go ahead and, I guess, entertain crypto, because I know people are still kind of, still kind of investing in that to some extent. I don't blame you. I'm trying to take some rake. I don't blame you. Put the PC shot on. Bitcoin, folks, is up because of all the uncertainty that's happening. All right, that's all the uncertainty about Jerome Powell, Trump, whether he's going to fire him, whether he's going to force him low interest rates. The bond market is also out of whack, which is putting our dollar at risk. So a lot of people are going, like everybody, either to gold, silver, and you got the new young people going to the crypto thinking that's the safe bet. I don't think that's the safe bet, but I do believe that there's so much dumb money in crypto that there's still profits to be made. If you want to day trade or pattern trade anything, I think crypto is possibly the way. I'm not going to show you how to do that. You got to figure that out for yourself. But I think that the volatility here is somewhat manageable and readable, that if you really truly concentrate on the market, particularly either in Bitcoin or altcoins, you can make a buck. I've been making a pretty good buck on Cardano. It is down right now. As a matter of fact, I'm accumulating Cardano right now. It's very cheap, 62 cents. We saw it go up to what, $1 and change? Was it a few months ago? And I sold out then, and I'm waiting for it. Here it is. Here it is. I started calling for it, and people that were in the True Capitalist Radio chat room, they took advantage, and they took advantage of this. All right, it went from like 50 cents to all the way to $1. Was it $1.20? I think I sold off $1.20 at $1.23. And if you look at the all-time, it went as high as, I believe, to $3 back during the bull run of 21. So, in my view, the reason I'm focused on Cardano for short-term plays is because the guy who's advising Trump on crypto is the guy who created that. And also, I think everybody should eyeball XRP, put the PC shot back on, which is Ripple. And the reason is because they now have the legal framework to be able to go in and integrate themselves with financial institutions. And as I told you, XRP is not the same as Bitcoin. It is not a public blockchain. It is a private ledger. And who has control over it? Well, the guy who created it. So that's what makes it so controversial. But at the same time, I do believe that it's going to be something integrated into banking systems or even the government itself. In my opinion, I don't know. We have to wait and see. We don't know what Trump's doing. But because he surrounded himself with the guys that created these particular cryptos, that's what I'm focused on. I'm not putting a whole bunch of cake in there, but the price is low enough to throw, if you're comfortable with a couple of grand, and, it's not going to hurt you if you, don't make it very fast, or, that's the kind of play that I'm talking about when it comes to XRP and Cardano. I think that we could see another run up here. It depends on what Trump does. But if he sticks with these tariffs, I think people are going to be running for cover for anything. And they're already doing it with gold and silver. The possibility of a short-term crypto increase is there, in my opinion. Anyway, folks, that concludes the financial portion of the broadcast. And, let's talk a little bit more about finance, okay? Because I think people need to recognize that we're seeing prices come down, but grocers out here, I don't know if you saw this, it's the lull before the storm with tariffs. And I think people need to recognize that everybody is sounding the alarm on this. And the fact is, if Trump wanted to be serious about tariffs, I think some of his people could convince enough Americans to bite the bullet. But he's been walking back. That's all he's been doing this entire administration. I mean, it is so uncertain. Did you take a look at this? This was a survey that came out. Just 13% of Americans feel confident about their finances. 13%. This is after we came out of the pandemic. This is after all those stimulus checks. All right, this is after all that shit, all the PPP loans, all that shit. Fucking moratoriums on mortgages and rents. After, the pausing on fucking student loans. Oh, yeah. By the way, did you just hear? Just in, by the way. Just in. Let me see if I even put it in. Let me see if I even put it in the goddamn. Yeah, I think I did. Hold on. I didn't. Anyway, just in, Trump is going to start deducting student loans out of people's accounts, out of people's paychecks now. I'm not joking around. And if you're default, then you're going to go to collections and they're going to collect it out of your ass. I told you so. Let me go ahead and find the fucking article because it just came out. Just came out now. Yeah, here it is right here. Put the PC shot on. Take a look at this. Education Department to begin garnishing wages on default student loan borrowers. It's time to pay up. All right. Look, I really have no sympathy for anybody who is a graduate and owes any money. We had a time, I don't know if y'all remember, it was called COVID, where everybody was saving their money. All right, you had fucking almost, 10 grand between Trump and Biden in stimulus checks directly deposited in your personal bank accounts. You had PPP loans. You had all kinds of shit that were given to the American people. And instead of paying their debts, or at least making an effort to, or cutting it down at least,
they're eating the cat.
They decided to go out and burn the damn money like it was going out of style. And hold on, Gino, I'll get to you in just a second. That's why, in my opinion, Biden's administration, post-COVID, if you take a look at the economy, if you reflect on the economy, you couldn't reflect on it back then because everybody was a spoiled piece of trash. Now that we're going to head into some actual strife, some self-inflicted economic distress, now people are going to be able to reflect on the Biden administration's economy, and it wasn't that bad. Actually, it was so good that these idiots did not believe it was good. I mean, and the reason I say that, folks, is because you take a look at what's being produced in America. I mean, what all these businesses popped out of nowhere after COVID, and it's all tchotchke crap. Don't get me wrong, there are a couple of innovators out there that have innovated in America, that have created products that fulfill needs and fulfill or solve problems. But in aggregate, all this crap, I mean, I love watching the television show Shark Tank. And if you take a look at Shark Tank for the past 7 or 8 years, most of the products are tchotchke bullshit, are dumb garbage that nobody needs and maybe people want. And the only time that you can spend money like that is when money is plentiful. All right? And that's why I wasn't necessarily for Biden or Kamala, but when I started hearing Trump saying all this tariff shit and he started saying all this weird off-the-wall garbage, that's why I talked against him in 2024. That's why I predicted every fucking thing that's happening right now. It wasn't hard to call. He told everybody, and people just didn't want to listen. And what I wanted was hopefully there was enough Democrats or enough people on the center left out there that were able to just go and keep the status quo. Keep the status quo. And that's all I wanted, because I'm sure as hell not going to get anything else from the right. I mean, the only thing that Republicans have accomplished are what the Texas Republicans have done. All right, the Texas Republicans are the ones that are actually true conservatives out here. While everybody is kissing Trump's ass, and don't get me wrong, the Texas Republicans are riding the coattails of this, I don't know, mesmeration of fucking Trump. While the fucking other country is fucking jerking off to Trump, we've done shit in Texas. I said it on the last show. I'll say it again. We made porn illegal in Texas. We're about to make fucking anime, that, you know, characters that look like little girls and shit. We're about to make that shit illegal. We just passed student vouchers, and y'all been telling, look, I've been telling you for years that's what Texas was trying to do to destroy the public education system. Now, look, I'm not against what Trump's doing against the Department of Education. All right, but that's a whole other issue. But we're doing shit out here in Texas. We're using the mesmeration of Trump to get shit done out here in Texas. We got true conservative values that we're implementing into law out here. So that's what keeps me optimistic about the Republican Party. What keeps me optimistic is that we've got fucking people out here in Texas that realize that we have to pass laws to protect public decency. And guess who's next? The fucking furries are next. The furries are next. And let me tell you something. I may or may not had something to do with all this shit. But anyway, let's not digress. Anyway, Department of Education going to start garnishing wages. All right? So all you folks, I hope you enjoy. All right? I hope you enjoy. Jesus Christ. And by the way, let's just talk about, you know, this presidency. You know, let's just go right into it. The walk back presidency. All right? We're just talking about how Trump came in, or he was campaigning that he was going to lower prices. Well, guess what? He walked back on that shit. All right? And he walked back on that shit before he was even inaugurated. All right? So right off the bat, all right, why is he backpedaling? Why is he backpedaling? Why is he backpedaling? That's what he did. Folks, go back into the archive. I told you all that the 2024 Trump looked eerily similar to Obama 08. And what did I say in 2024? I said what Trump's probably going to do, because this is exactly what Obama did. He's going to come in, he's going to say one thing, and then something's going to happen, and the complete opposite's going to happen, and he's going to come out and fucking say, well, you know, it's Biden's fault, or it's this person's fault. It's this is all this fucking presidency it's been, and it's not even 5 months. So the walk back presidency, we're going to walk back on lowering prices on shit, all right? We're going to walk back on lowering prices. All right, and then like when he became president, he's
eating
like,
the cats.
He's like, hey, guess what? We're going to fucking put tariffs on Mexico and Canada. Guess what? We're walking back that shit. Walk back the Mexico-Canadian tariffs. I don't even know why you even said it if you're going to fucking back down on it, you fucking chump. Anyway, let me get to these Rumble rants before we continue to talk about Trump's walking back. Anyway, Gino X 1987 with a Buy Me a Coffee. He said Trump purposely crashing the market to buy up as much of America as possible under shell companies and reshape the West into a new feudalistic empire. I don't think you're wrong, dude. I don't think you're wrong. I'm going to talk about that a little bit too, as well. There, Gino X 1987. Cheers with the Buy Me a Coffee. And Rebel Shadow Rhapsody, Trumpism is not real American conservatism, and I say that as a current Republican and ex-Democrat. Every other state except Texas is just walking in Trump's shadow at this point. Thank you very much, Rebel Shadow. That's what I'm trying to get across. That even though on the federal side in 2024 I was not backing up Trump, I was still backing up the conservatives out here in Texas. Remember, even though things may not go your way on the federal level, you as a person, as an American person, as a country that's made for the people and by the people, you're obligated to still be political. And that's what I've been doing. I've said this before, I'll say that again. I've done work for the Republican Party for years. I've organized events and fundraisers for the Texas Republican Party. So, I've hobnobbed with these people. And I still do. As a matter of fact, I'm very good friends with a lot of the fucking mainstream Republicans in this fucking state. But anyway, once again, let's go back to walking back. Let's walk back the tariffs as soon as he became president. Let's walk back I mean, there's so much shit that Trump has walked back on. It's unbelievable. I mean, take a look at this. All right. Stocks soar as Trump backtracks on some tariffs. Remember, we're going to backtrack, and this was on April 4th. This was that was the reciprocal tariffs, right after the goddamn Mexico-Canadian tariffs. Walk back. Now, if you want my opinion, I think he's walking back the tariffs, much like what Gino was alluding to pump and dump the stock market in order for him, his family, and everybody else that's colluding with Trump to buy up the market, pump and dump the market. You know what I mean? So here we go. Backtrack, walk back presidency. Oh, my bad. Sorry about that. Walk back presidency. Yeah, I use the Brave browser, baby. All right, good browser, by the way. We got, backtracking on permanent resettlement of Palestinians. Remember that shit? We're going to walk back. No, thanks. We're going to walk back. I mean, come on, man. How can anybody who is MAGA, how can you explain this? How can you justify this shit? How can you justify this crap? Walk back. You know, remember all that shit? Yeah, we're going to own Gaza. We're going to own it. We're going to resettle Palestinians. We're going to do... Walk back. Jesus Christ, man. I mean, let's continue. All right, let's fucking continue. I mean, he's walking back on Obama now. Did you hear about this? Take a look at this. Trump is defending Obamacare at the Supreme Court because he wants the authority now, all right, of Obamacare. Because what did I tell you Obamacare was all these years? It's the centralization of health care. That's why during the goddamn COVID crisis, every practitioner, every hospital, every doctor had to do whatever the damn CDC directed them to do. All right, and that's how they did it. So here we go. Walk back. Unfucking believable, dude. Unbelievable. I mean, how are y'all going to defend this, MAGA? I mean, I seriously, I know that the propagandists and the chattering class of MAGA out there are fucking doing the same kind of doublespeak that the fucking Democrats used to do, but give me a goddamn break. Walk back. All right, I mean, can we continue with the walkbacks? You want to continue? I mean, remember, I'm going to cut off the funding for Harvard. Walk back. White House claims letter to Harvard with demands was, quote, unauthorized mistake. Oh, Jesus. Walk back. I mean, this is exactly what Obama did in 2008. Do you understand this? I mean, Obama would come out and say, well, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that. Complete opposite what happened, and he would come out, it was Bush's fault. You know, we can't do it. It was Bush. Bush, the same shit. And look, I'll be honest with you. I can't believe you people didn't see it. The same assholes that were funding Trump were all the ones funding Obama. The guys that were there at that indoor inauguration, by the way, the indoor inauguration wasn't to protect Trump. It was to protect the trillions of dollars of individuals that attended that shit. All the tech bros and shit. So, yeah, walk back. Now, why is he walking back on the Harvard situation? I'll tell you why. Harvard is the oldest collegiate institution in America. I mean, you understand how many, the lineage of families, of bloodlines, American bloodlines, business, have alumni here? I mean, are you fucking kidding me? They weren't going to just let Trump kamikaze Harvard. All right, they are not going to let him kamikaze Harvard. So now all of a sudden, walk back. I mean, dude, all of you folks that are for Trump, I don't understand what you're for anymore. I don't understand what you're for. I mean, how much more do you want to fucking look at this? Immigration. That was your big fucking issue, right? Immigration. Look at this. Walk back. Trump floats plan for undocumented farm and hotel workers to work legally in the United States of America. Walk back. Oh, my God. And look, okay, people are in the fucking YouTube chat. You're a Trump hater. What are you defending? Everything that you idiots voted for this guy, he's completely walk back. I mean, what are you holding on to at this point, man? I voted for him because I wanted him to kick out the Mexicans. He's going to keep the fucking Mexicans. All right? I voted for him because
They're eating the cats.
What are you doing? And what is this? Jatario, I just like the squirts. Okay, great. Thank you for sharing that. I mean, I'm just saying. And you see, look, I'm just glad it wasn't Kamala. That's your last cope. That's your last cope. And if that's your last cope, then you've already been defeated. You've already been defeated. Because if you can't justify why you went out and voted for Trump so that he could deport all these Mexicans or whatever the fuck you thought, and I told you he wasn't going to do it. I told you all he wasn't going to do it. I said, look, he can't do the tariffs and think that he's going to have American lazy fucking people to go out there and work the fields and work the agriculture and work the livestock. And that's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened. And the only thing that he's deporting, which I'm not against, I mean, let's deport the trash. Let's deport the fucking MS-13, the Tres Agua and shit. Hey, deport those pieces of shit. Keep the people that are working here. Imagine breaking into a country to work there. You know what I mean? Imagine breaking into a country to work there. Jesus Christ. Anyway, I actually agree with Trump on this, but, I mean, don't you idiots feel dumb? All right, don't you idiots feel dumb that you went out and thought that, you know, you're going to get all these people deported? I don't know what the fuck you people thought. I tried to tell you throughout 2024 that this idiot is not going to accomplish all this shit. All right, he's not going to do it. All right, he is absolutely not going to do it. I mean, don't y'all feel stupid? I mean, I hope you do. I hope that there is a level of awakening of you people that went out there blindly and voted for this man. I hope there's an awakening that, hey, maybe I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, and maybe next political cycle, I'll shut my fucking mouth. How about that? And you know who you are. All right? All you fucking assholes that were flapping your fat Cheeto-stained fingers on the keyboard in every one of my chat rooms, calling me a goddamn Democrat throughout 2024, all right? You people need to look at your stupid selves in the mirror and recognize that your stupid shit, your fucking mush brain, all right, your ignorance caused the destruction of this country. All right? You caused the destruction of this country, and when you're laid off, and when you don't have fucking food in the fucking refrigerator, when your fucking goddamn house is being foreclosed on, what did I tell you? What do I tell you? Think of me when you're suffering. Didn't I say that throughout this whole goddamn time? I said, think of me when you suffer. Because you brought it on yourself, boy. You brought it on your goddamn self. So enjoy. So once again, all right, fell for it again award. Trump, I mean, he's going to keep the illegals that are working here. He has to, baby. He can't afford to. You think that you're going to rebuild America with Americans? I mean, are you kidding me? You got to be kidding me, right? You got to be fucking kidding me. You mean to tell me that these unappreciative, ungrateful, fucking entitled assholes are going to sit here and be the manufacturers of the fucking 21st century for America? Yeah, right. Yeah, right. These people can't even barely get up to do the gig economy, for fuck's sake. And you want them to get up 40, 50 hours a week to go into a fucking goddamn warehouse and put the tail on the ass of a Pokemon in a fucking assembly line? You've got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. And Red Eyes Black Dragon, Serious Ghost, how do you grill your ribs? Dry rub or slather some barbecue sauce? Well, if you're talking about pork ribs, it's a very, I don't want to give away the sauce, but I do base them at the last hour of smoking. So let's just put it that way. Anyway, thank you for your question. And Red Eyes Black Dragon, Trump loves America, though. He hugged the flag that one time. Well, yeah, I hear you on that. Touche with the sarcasm, man. And review, brah, are you going to watch the Dallas Stars game tonight? Yeah, I am. Unfortunately, they didn't look too good the last time, but hey, it's early in the playoffs. It's looking good. Thank you, fake review, brah. But anyway, let's get back to Trump backtracking. What else has he backtracked on? What else has he back? Oh, yeah. you elect me, I can end the war in 24 hours. Backtrack. How Trump backed away from promising to end the Russian-Ukraine war in 24 hours. So
They're
by
eating
God.
the cats.
So by God, man. By God. I mean, what are you people holding on to? You know, can you just admit that you're an idiot and that you caused the destruction of this country because this guy is gutting the country? And I don't think that he's in charge. I think he's no different than Obama at this point. I think he's being told what to do and he's deciding what to do, but he's being told what to do. That's why you're seeing this very schizophrenic and erratic decision-making and non-communication with his cabinet and that sort of thing. I mean, this is why this is such a very, very bizarre administration. Because there's no loyalty. As I stated,
eating the cats.
I stated throughout 2024 that he has no real ideas to keep people loyal to him. You see, Trump, as I stated in 2024, he wants people to be loyal to him just because he's Trump. Not because he had any real ideas that were going to take the country in a new direction. Or that was going to generally benefit the general American public in any capacity. Anyway, let me get to some of these buy me a coffees here. Mark, at the rate we're going, China doesn't want to have to launch its own missiles. Eventually, they're going to own everything, and we're going to work for them. That's our bleak future. Well, you know, funny you bring that up, Mark, but that's the plan, baby. Trump is accelerating that plan, and these morons that are for him don't realize it. I don't know what they're obsessed about. I don't know if it's the indoctrination of the media, putting him on this, definition of what American success is. I don't know what it is. But I'm glad you say that, hey, looks like China's going to own us at this point. That's the fucking point. Now, look, I know there's a lot of MAGA people out there that are celebrating that Klaus Schwab, the head of the World Economic Forum, is stepping down from being a part of the World Economic Forum. And all I have to say to that is, why are you celebrating? He's 88 years old. You notice that he's 88 and the Pope is 88. The Pope dies. Klaus Schwab steps down. Things that make you go, But the only reason I want to bring up Klaus Schwab is because, folks, Klaus Schwab, even though he's stepping down, look, let's put the PC shot on. All right, Davos founder Klaus Schwab steps down the World Economic Forum. It doesn't mean that his agenda hasn't been fully fulfilled or about to be fulfilled. As a matter of fact, I'm going to let you watch a video here for a second. Since we're talking about Klaus Schwab, let's watch a video here for a few. And this is a video about Klaus Schwab, his agenda, and it looks eerily similar to what the fuck Trump is accelerating in our country. All right? I'm just saying, you'll learn something here. All right, here it is. Put this right here. All right, here it is. Klaus Schwab, enjoy, all right? Klaus Schwab.
Some people would say this revolution is characterized by the fight of robots against human beings. And we will win this fight.
Professor Klaus Schwab was born in 1938 in Ravensburg, Germany, where Nazi crimes against humanity were committed. His father, Eugene Wilhelm Schwab, was the managing director of Escher Weiss Ravensburg, a company that used slave labor to manufacture weapons of war for the Third Reich. While Klaus's father was at the helm, the Nazi Party awarded Escher Weiss Ravensburg the title of National Socialist Model Company. Years later, Klaus Schwab joined the board of directors at Escher Weiss Ravensburg, where he played a key role in the development of South Africa's nuclear weapons program during the darkest years of the racist apartheid regime.
Things
Today,
that make you go,
Klaus Schwab is the founder and executive chairman of the World Economic Forum.
They're eating the cats.
If you'd like to meet the people who are supposed to repair the state of the world, or give a piece of your mind to the bankers who helped get us into this mess, we can tell you where to find a lot of them. The World Economic Forum.
Founded in 1971, The World Economic Forum is an international private organization which receives billions of tax-free dollars from its members and their global enterprises. Every year, the WEF brings together its members with world leaders, big pharma executives, tech titans, Hollywood celebrities, media personalities, and internet influencers to meet in the secluded mountains of Davos, Switzerland.
It is a tiny town folded into the Swiss Alps.
Davos, Switzerland. Try to get a fucking house out there. You gotta pay $5 million minimum for a fucking apartment.
Jordan, all in one place. A lot of reporters cover the forum, but few get inside. It turns out there are two Davoses, one you see and one you don't. After hours, there are hundreds of private parties where deals are done. People who can't be seen together in public can meet here.
Oh, secret deals.
Your Royal Highnesses, Excellencies, distinguished heads of state and government, the future is built by us, by a powerful community as you here in this room.
Klaus Schwab, the founder of the WEF, is particularly upfront and even proud of his ability to shape and influence world politics.
I created the community of global shapers as a means, as a force to shape our common future.
And of course, their Global Young Leaders program is a grooming ground so that when they ultimately infiltrate cabinets,
We penetrate the cabinets.
they will likely tend to govern.
We penetrate the cabinets and we penetrate this. Look, what you're about to hear and what his objective is, Trump has fulfilled this damn thing. Trump has fulfilled it. And he's fulfilling it now. And if you don't believe it, then you're a part of the problem. Play a little bit more of this.
A certain way.
Nobody will be safe if not everybody is vaccinated.
The names and the countries he mentioned ended up being some of the most dystopian and authoritative during this pandemic.
Names like Ms. Merkel, Vladimir Putin, and so on.
Other names? Jacinda Ardern, Sebastian Kurz, Mauricio Macri, Mark Zuckerberg, Jack Ma, Gavin Newsom, Stéphane Bancel, Chelsea Clinton, Leonardo DiCaprio, Sanjay Gupta, Dr. Leana Wen, Alexander and Jonathan Soros, George Soros' sons, and several of the Rothschilds. And of course,
Now, who could represent such a world better than you, Prime Minister?
Look who it is, huh? Look who it is.
In 2014, Klaus Schwab called for the Great Reset,
The Great
We need
Reset.
a great reset.
which he positioned as the solution to the world's most urgent issues. The dark reality of Schwab's agenda is detailed in his best-selling book,
The Great
COVID-19,
Reset.
The Great Reset.
Oh, COVID-19.
His endgame mission is to replace independent governance with a top-down controlled, one world government and a central bank-controlled digital currency.
When they say, you'll be happy, what they mean is, you'll be enslaved. That's why they're talking about a great reset. That's why they're talking about introducing this quasi-communist.
Yeah, quasi-communist socialist shit. That's exactly what Trump's doing in his second administration. Who caused, really? Who made the decision to shut down and everybody followed suit? Who made the decision to fast-track these vaccines? Fucking morons.
Quasi-socialist agenda. They know we've run the course where we cannot continue down the path of the ever-increasing indebtedness because we have a generation that quite literally cannot afford to buy a house.
Millions of Americans are priced out of buying a home.
And so it's easy to tell that generation, we're going to forgive your college debt.
Student debt relief.
And set your expectations lower. You're going to rent forever. We're going to celebrate the tiny house movement.
Yep.
We're going to do all of these things
tiny
that
house
sound
movement.
cool.
Yep.
Because they're shaping our narrative so that we become capable of expecting less.
Yeah, that's exactly what's happening to the younger generations of Western civilization. They're actually trying to make it cool to live in your fucking car. They're trying to make it cool to live in a fucking van. And this is subliminal subjugation. It is subversion. It is now recreating an expectation. And you fucking people don't even know it. Play it.
What we need to do is not expect less. We need to remove inefficiencies so we can experience more. And that's the subtle distinction that the Great Reset is missing.
Like most globalists, Schwab regards communist China as a shining model of how he intends to transform the world.
We now welcome His Excellency Xi Jinping. China has made significant economic and social achievements under your leadership.
Chinese influence on global affairs is growing. The founder of the World Economic Forum, Klaus Schwab, says that this is what motivated the group this year to invite President Xi Jinping to deliver the keynote address in Davos.
Schwab said Xi's presence was a sign of the shift from a unipolar world dominated by the United States to a more multipolar system in which rising powers like...
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? That's exactly what's happening to us right now because of fucking you! All right? Oh, you fucking idiots! I got mesmerized by Trump again! That's what's fucking happening now! You fucking morons! Play it!
Like China will have a step up and play a bigger role.
I think it's a role model for many countries, but we have to go one step further. It's a systemic transformation of the world. Artificial intelligence, the metaverse, synthetic biology. Our life in 10 years from now will be completely different, and who masters those technologies will be the master of the world.
Now, did you hear that? Who masters AI and robotics are going to be the masters of the world. Okay? Now, let's end it there because that's a good segue into why Trump allowed Elon Musk to run fucking roughshod all over the fucking place, all over the government. Because Elon Musk wants to be that guy. The PayPal mafia,
They're eating
the Peter Thiels and that sort of thing, they want to be what Klaus Schwab just fucking said. And hold on, let me read some of these Buy Me a Coffees. Ghost's landlord, you weren't the same man you said ride or die with Trump. Yeah, that's until he turned into a fucking communist and shut down the goddamn country and shoved whatever the fuck was in that goddamn jab in people's arms. All right, asshole? Jesus fucking Christ. Shut up, all right? This isn't the fucking troll show, asshole, all right? I get it. That's your little bit. That, yeah, I'm your fucking trailer park fucking landlord. This is not the fucking goddamn time for that shit, all right? Jesus Christ, I'm a cunt. Confirmation bias is tendency to search for, interpret, favor, and recall information in the way that confirms or supports one's prior beliefs or values. I don't know what the hell you're talking about yourself. Anyway, you're lucky I unbanned your ass on fucking X, even though I'm fucking locked out of my shit because I told that fucking homosexual, goddamn looking asshole, fucking Russell Brand, to do a flip. And Mark, the real great reset is over 7 billion hungry and angry people declaring open season on the financial elite. I think they're getting a little too cocky. No, they're not. Nobody's going to do a goddamn thing about it. All they got to do is throw some fucking, some animation, some video games, or some fucking bullshit in front of you people and all. Oh, wow, yeah! Anyway, Trump. Let's go back to Trump and him selling us out. And I'm talking every American selling us out completely to Elon Musk. Okay? And by the way, Elon Musk is already about ready to cut and run, right? And people that are in the right are taking a victory lap that didn't like it. But you have to understand, all right? Elon Musk has already attained what he wanted, and it was our data, you moron. It was our data. It was our data. This whole fucking Doge shit,
They're eating the cats.
This idea that, there's Jeffrey Goldstein, will you service my schmeckle? I was waiting for that stupid fucking troll. But this whole idea that Doge was supposed to cut, what was it, $2 trillion, and then it went down to $1 trillion off the budget? What did Doge end up fucking cutting when it's all said and done? Another backtrack, by the way. What was it all said and done? All right? I mean, put the PC shot on. He didn't save shit. All right, you know what he saved? He saved $150 billion. All right? $150 billion. It went from $2 trillion, all right, to $1 trillion to now $150 billion. All right? So, look at him. Look at this fucking soulless asshole. So, of course, he's, we didn't exactly do it, but here's $150 billion. The damage is done. All right? He's aggregated our data with AI, and if you don't know that by now, you're a fucking moron. And it's your data. And now AI knows everything about you. Everything about you. Everything about you. And what are you going to do about it? There's nothing you can do about it. As a matter of fact, let me go back to the Klaus Schwab thing and finish it off, because that's exactly the end goal. All right? That's the exact end goal. All right?
Justin.
All right, let me go ahead and get to that part so you can see what's entailed for each and every one of you, okay? All right, let's go ahead and get back to it. All right, because this is important, because I don't think you people realize that this America First crap that Trump was touting to you idiots is the complete opposite. But of course, you either are pot committed and you don't want to look like an idiot, even though you already are looking like an idiot, or you're so mesmerized that you can't see it. Play it.
And play a bigger role.
I think it's a role model for many countries, but we have to go one step further. It's a systemic transformation of the world. Artificial intelligence, the metaverse, synthetic biology, our life in 10 years from now will be completely different, and who masters those technologies will be the master of the world.
Similar to his protege, Justin Trudeau, Klaus Schwab makes a fascinating case study. Yet he too is merely the master of his own world. Economic forum.
Listen to this.
Science is replacing evolution by natural selection with evolution by intelligent design. Not the intelligent design of some god above the clouds, but our intelligent design and the intelligent design of our clouds. The IBM cloud, the Microsoft cloud, these are the new driving forces of evolution. Today, we have the technology to hack human beings on a massive scale. And by this I mean that if you have enough data and you have enough computing power, you can understand people better than they understand themselves. And then you can manipulate them in ways which were previously impossible. You know, the whole idea that humans have this soul or spirit and they have free will, that's over. Now, how exactly will the future masters of the planet look like? This will be decided by the people who own the data.
The data!
Powers can collect...
Did you hear that? Who owns the fucking data? All right? And that's what Trump has fucking sold us out to, you fucking morons. All right? That's why he let fucking Elon Musk run roughshod at every goddamn fucking agency and aggregated our data, you fucking morons. Wake the fuck up. You people that voted for this shit, you voted for the destruction of this fucking country. Fuck you. Play it.
Store and exploit biometric information from COVID tests.
U.S. intelligence officials tell CBS News that China is trying to collect Americans' DNA in hopes of controlling the future of healthcare.
China's test kits are a tool to help China compile genetic data.
The Chinese aren't the only ones exploring this technology. The U.S. is working on it as well.
The White House is ramping up its COVID response, announcing Americans can once again get free COVID test kits.
Bill Gates is again in a storm of controversy. Gates is found to have strong connections with the Chinese Beijing Genomic Institute, and the BGI is also known to have deep ties with the Chinese Communist Party's military.
Data is the most important asset in the world. Those who control the data control the future not just of humanity, but the future of life itself.
Everywhere she goes, Ouyang Haoyu is followed. What she buys, how she behaves, is tracked and scored to show how responsible and trustworthy she is. It's called the social credit system. A person's reputation is scored on a scale of 350 to 950.
Welcome to your future.
It's big data meets Big Brother, expanding how the government monitors, understands, and ultimately controls its 1.4 billion citizens.
A good score brings benefits, but people with low scores lose rights. The cinema names and shames people considered untrustworthy, plastering their details, even their addresses, across big screens.
And information collectors are paid to report on their
eating the
neighbors.
cats.
The Supreme Court has created a blacklist for so-called bad citizens.
By using the mechanism of social credit, we'll be able to establish a blacklist of people. These punishments will serve as a whip to rebuild moral values.
And few here are willing to criticize it, something that may pose a risk itself for a bad score and the life that comes with it.
It may seem scary, but it's just like that here. We're used to it, and anyway, we don't have a choice.
Don't have a choice.
China wants obedient
you
citizens.
people aren't going to have a choice
Criticism
anymore
or
either.
resistance among the population is virtually non-existent.
This woman's door was kicked in by police when she refused to go to quarantine.
Here we go.
Now these videos show rows of metal containers which are being used to house COVID-19 patients. Some of them have complained that very little food is left for them.
This is your future.
Chinese government officials now
This is your
installing
fucking
fences
future.
in Shanghai, blocking people from leaving their homes.
Because you allowed
For
it.
some,
You.
Shanghai feels like the world's largest prison.
5分钟前头，俺们叫俺没几个了，现在突然之间，所有人都叫了。
So there you go. All right, that's your future right there. And as I stated, that's what Elon Musk wanted from Trump. He wanted access to our data. He's aggregated it, and now he's gone. All right? And look, he's trying to pretend that, the left won. Take a look at this. Musk wants to leave politics because he's tired of attacks from the left. Bullshit. He doesn't need to do this shit anymore. He's aggregated all of everyone's data. He's got it. It's in his AI. He's going to fucking use it to God knows, who the fuck knows what he's going to do. But as you heard on that video, he's going to know more about you than you do. He's going to know more about you. The AI is going to aggregate everything. And by the way, they can get everything, your social media profiles, everything, and aggregate it with whatever the fuck they did with the data that they aggregated from Social Security and the health system and all this shit, the financial system. Unbelievable. Unfucking believable, man. But hey, you all wanted this. I mean, that's what the devil always says. Hey, free will, it is a bitch. Because if you give the devil free will, God can't strike the devil. All right? God can't strike the devil. And by the way, lawmakers are barely figuring this shit out now. All right? Barely figuring this shit out. Like, hey, wait a minute. I don't like how you're using AI to aggregate all the government data. Oh, it's too late, you dumbasses. It's too fucking late. I mean, not only is he aggregating data and our data, he's trying to get every fucking contract. Him and his fucking PayPal mafia buddy, Peter Thiel. As I stated, go back in the fucking archive during right after that fake assassination attempt on Trump and take a listen. I told you that all this shit had everything to do with the PayPal mafia taking control of our government, and that's exactly what has happened. And you're like, Ghost, well, I don't understand. They're taking over our government. I don't get it. They have our data, you fucking dick. And on top of which, all these no-bid contracts are going everywhere. Take a look at this. And these are contracts to intelligence level contracts. Look at this. Ramp up, baby. That Thiel startup hunting a motherlode contract inside the U.S. Treasury. All right, take a look at this. $700 billion contract going to Peter Thiel-funded RAMP. That's the name of the company in which it's going to get this $700 billion contract by the U.S. government in order to start a card program called Smart Pay. All right? So, I mean, there you go right there. All right, there you go right there. That's Peter Thiel. That's him. And guess what? Musk, he's already got all these contracts. He wants more. All right, he wants fucking more. He wants the whole fucking score. Take a look at this. America's new Golden Dome. Remember, that's what Trump wants, the Golden Dome to protect America. Well, guess what? He's going to give it to Musk. And you know what Musk wants to do? He wants to not only create it utilizing his SpaceX assets and the satellites that he has in space and shit. But he also wants to, take a look at this, I'm not joking around, he wants to start a subscription-based service in which he bills the Defense Department for this golden dome that they want to build. I'm not fucking joking around. I am not fucking joking around. So this dome to build as it is, well, I'm trying to look for it. It was a long article. But it was anywhere between the ranges of $900 billion to $1.7 trillion contract. And the contract is going to go to Musk. And Musk is going to charge a subscription. Yeah, here it is right here. It'll cost between $120 billion to $1 trillion right off the bat to start it off. And then he wants to start a subscription base and charge the Defense Department because he believes he can get long-term residuals and that sort of thing. So this is where we're at. This is what Trump is allowing to happen. These people aggregated our data. They're getting all the no-bid contracts to the highest intelligent level, United States national security level situations. I mean, can you not see the writing on the wall that you all were fucking sold out and y'all are a bunch of chumps? You know? I mean, don't y'all realize that? Now, what they want you to, kind of focus on is, the Supreme Court, they stopped Trump from deporting people. Bullshit. All right, put the PC shot on. I'm tired of hearing this shit. I'm tired of hearing that the Supreme Court is treasonous and they stopped deportation. No, let me tell you something, you dumbasses, okay? The Supreme Court halted deportations under the Alien Enemies Act. And if you read the Alien Enemies Act, the only way that you can enact a mass deportation is under a declaration of war. And there was no declaration of war. Who is the entity that allows or is given the authority to declare war? It's Congress. So Congress has not declared war. So that's why the Supreme Court struck it down. And what the Supreme Court told the Trump administration is that if you really want a mass deportation, then you have to take it to the legislative branch and then create an immigration policy where mass deportation is part of the policy. And you see, they can't do that. And you want to know why? Because not everybody in Congress is down with this shit. So that's why now the Supreme Court, now that he's told Trump that you can't, or they can't deport, Trump has to rally Congress in order to create or craft some immigration policy that'll enable him to do so. You see, it puts the buck back in the legislative branch. And you see, as much as Trump likes to claim that he's in control of the Republican Party, he really isn't. Because if he was, this would have already been a bill and it would have already been signed by now. But you see, the only immigration policy that's been crafted was the one that was initiated last May by the Democrats. All right, it was written by a Republican, by the way, but it was shot down. Remember, Trump said, no, vote against it, even though it was one of the most comprehensive immigration reform bills that addressed all grievances from the right wing. The elimination of the immigration lottery system, the elimination of chain migration, that sort of thing, redefinition of what asylum means, and that sort of thing. So, in my opinion, it's up to the damn Congress if they want to enact some kind of legal justification of mass deportation. But Congress is not going to do that because their constituency are going to vote them out. So this is where Trump is when it comes to immigration, all right? If he wants it, why doesn't he tell the legislative branch to do something about it? He can't. They won't. I mean, it's one fucking pain in the ass, when it comes to Trump after another. Oh, yeah, what's the next fucking thing? Pete fucking Hegseth. Are you fucking kidding me with this loser? Didn't I tell you that Hegseth was completely not qualified for this job at all? Didn't I tell you this? I mean, look at him. I mean, I'd probably want to party with him. I hear he's a drunk. I hear he likes to get chicks and shit. I wouldn't mind having a beer with him. I don't think that this guy should have been anywhere near being the Secretary of Defense. Now, the reason that he's coming in the radar once again is because another signal chat has emerged. And the reason it's emerged is because the guys that he hired, the guys that he appointed, quit the fucking job and are now leaking all this shit. All right? The guys this asshole appointed. And, you know, as you can see here, he did make a response. All right? Pete Hegseth did make a response, and he sounds like he's drunk. All right, in my opinion. He sounds like he's drunk. Like I said, I wouldn't mind fucking partying with Pete Hegseth. He's not Secretary of Defense material. I don't know why Trump put this guy there. Trump's an idiot. I'll tell you this right now. For putting Pete Hegseth there, he's a fucking idiot. Now, let's hear Pete Hegseth's response to the new leaked signal. By the way, for all those that don't know, yeah, there was another leaked signal communication. All right, not only the one with Tulsi Gabbard and, you know, the fucking Ratcliffe and all them. No, he had a fucking signal where he was talking about all this Yemen shit to his wife, to his brother, to his lawyer. What the fuck was his lawyer doing there? You know what that means? The fact that his lawyer was in this separate signal chat and he was telling this shit to his wife and brother and who the fuck else knows who was on that signal is because he knows he's doing something wrong. I mean, why the fuck else would you have your lawyer there? You know what I'm saying? Why the fuck would you have your lawyer on the signal chat? Well, anyway, this was Pete Hegseth's excuse, and he claims to be sober here. That's all I'm saying. Put the PC shot. He claims to be sober.
What do you want to say, sir, about the signal chat controversy?
You know, what a big surprise that bunch of...
Now, before I play this, I want you to know that his kids go in back of him and they laugh at him because they even know he's a fucking full of shit. All right? They even know he's full of shit. Watch this.
You know, what a big surprise that a few leakers get fired and suddenly a bunch of hit pieces come out from the same media that peddled the Russia hoax. Won't give back their Pulitzers. They got Pulitzers for a bunch of lies. Pulitzers for a bunch of lies and on hoaxes, time and time and time again.
All right, let me tell you something. I have never seen a defense secretary act like this. You know, if you want to be a bureaucrat, if you want to be a fucking defense secretary or some shit, less is more. Look at his kid. That's his kid, by the way. That's his fucking kid. And even his kid's like, oh, Jesus Christ, are you fucking kidding me, Dad? Look at you. You're fucking drunk. You're fucking drunk, aren't you, Dad? I mean, less is more if you are a bureaucrat. He could have easily said, look, I'm over here at the Easter egg hunt or whatever the fuck they were doing over there at the White House. I'm sitting here. I'm not addressing that, okay? If you want to ask me something else, ask me something else. And if they're adamant about it, say, look, I'm not going to answer the question, and I deny anything that is going to impugn the integrity of who I am. Thank you. Could have said that. No, this guy is over here. You know, he has cheated on every wife that he has had. He's already had 3 wives. Cheated on every one of them. It almost sounds like a speech, you know, the tenor, you know, the cadence and shit. It almost sounds like he's trying to make an excuse why he smells like perfume coming home late at night. I'm not joking. It sounds like that tenor. Listen.
And as they peddle those lies, no one ever calls them on it. See, this is what the media does. They take anonymous sources from disgruntled former employees.
Look at this.
And then they try to slash and burn people.
Hey, honey, I was at the bar.
Ruin their reputations. Not going to work with me.
I ran into the fucking waitress.
Changing the Defense Department, putting the Pentagon back in the hands of warfighters.
Look at this kid. Look at this kid. These are his kids. And even his kids are like, what fucking dad, you fucking dumbass. Even his kids know he's a fucking idiot.
Anonymous smears from disgruntled former employees on old news doesn't matter. So I'm happy to be here at the Easter egg roll with my dad and my kids, because, you know, this is what we're doing it for. These kids right here. This is why we're fighting the fake news media.
This guy literally sounds like he just got busted cheating, and he's trying to explain to his wife why she should stay. I'm not fucking... This is such ridiculous diatribe that it is beneath the Department Secretary of Defense.
Yeah. This is why we're fighting slash and burn Democrats. This is why we're fighting hoax.
Look at the kid. Look at this kid. He's like, Dad, are you fucking drunk again? Look at this fucking kid.
News media. This is why we're fighting slash and burn Democrats. This is why we're fighting hoaxsters. Hoaxsters. This group, no, this group right here, full of hoaxsters that peddle anonymous sources from leakers with access to grind, and then you
came on to
put it all together as if it's some news story. And when we know it, we know exactly what it is. So I'm really proud of what we're doing for the president, fighting hard across the board, and I'm going to go roll some Easter eggs with my kids. Thank you very much.
Oh my God, this is a fucking.
I've spoken to the president, and we are going to continue fighting on the same page all the way.
What an embarrassment! What an utter embarrassment! This is beneath the cabinet seat. You know, every Secretary of Defense was, sure of himself. Was very deliberate. Fucking, could never be stumped. It's unbelievable. And of course, Trump, during the same event on Easter, said that he's standing by old Hegseth. He's standing by him. But I don't know. I don't know if he's going to stand by him, because a report came out just about 2 hours ago. White House is looking to replace Pete Hegseth as Secretary of Defense. Well, no shit. No shit. They're going to fucking looking to replace him, man. I mean, this guy, he is completely incompetent for this job. I don't know who or why Trump thought that this was a good idea. I don't know who told or why Trump thought this was a good idea. This guy is a complete incompetent. Just look at his life. I mean, like I said, I wouldn't mind partying with the guy. He probably can bring in some chicks. Or, you know what I mean? I mean, that's great. All right, how does that qualify to be the Secretary of fucking Defense? All right, so no shit. The White House is looking, to go and, replace Hegseth. I mean, he's caused nothing but trouble over there at the fucking Defense Department. Have you heard about this? Fucking nothing but fucking trouble. As a matter of fact, I read in an article that he's causing more drama than being the fucking actual defense secretary. He's causing more drama. He's more worried about, who has more authority and, who's this. I'm not kidding. So it is a threat to national security at this point, and I think it'd be the responsible thing at this point if Trump replaces Pete Hegseth. But look, he's not the only incompetent, all right? Even Rudolph Giuliani came out recently and said he's really, really shocked at the dramatic U-turn because he chose crooks, according to Rudolph Giuliani. And who is he talking about as crooks? He's talking about the FBI director and the Attorney General. The Attorney General, Pam Bondi, remember that ridiculous stunt about her supposedly releasing the Epstein files when it was nothing more than shit that had already been released. And she says, I'm working on it. It's on my desk. We have yet to see them. All right, we have yet to see the Epstein files. So that says everything. That says everything. Now, when it comes to Patel was supposed to fire half the FBI. He said all this shit. I'm going to fire half the FBI, and I'm going to take control. Let me tell you something. You know what I think happened to Patel? I think he was confronted by the FBI and said, look, you little twat, you're not going to do shit to the agency, all right? We're going to let you be the figurehead leader, all right? And you can pretend to be this big tough guy, but we're really in charge, all right? You don't have the authority to do a goddamn thing. So what is Patel doing? He's becoming a playboy now. Did you hear this? Look at this. A different kind of FBI chief. Jet-setting Patel loves the limelight. He loves the limelight. I mean, are you fucking kidding me? He's playing this like a rock star. Instead of going out there and fighting crime and being in charge of fucking taking hold of this fucking violent wave that we're having across America, this guy's over here playing fucking FBI rock star. He's playing FBI rock star. What do I mean by that? Did y'all hear about this? This guy is now using, and we're talking about balancing budgets when it comes to Doge and all that fucking bullshit, right? No, take a look at this. Put the PC shot on. He took an FBI plane to go see an NHL game and go check out his girlfriend's city. Huh? There you go. That's fucking FBI work right there. Let me take FBI planes and let me go fucking do personal shit with it. How about that? Yeah, that's fighting crime, Patel. I mean, why don't you fucking do something about all this fucking urban demographic violence that we're seeing out here? How about that shit? Jesus Christ. Why don't you do something, you fucking asshole? Hey, I gotta go to the NHL game. I'll take a fucking FBI plane. Hey, Michael, I mean, look, he's got a girlfriend that's way above his league looks-wise. So I understand why he's trying to take her out to the private plane and fucking, I don't know, impress her and shit. But come on! You're the goddamn FBI head, man. Jesus Christ, man. And who else do we have? If it isn't fucking Patel using, FBI planes to go to NHL games and shit. All right. If it isn't all the other incompetents, who else do we have? Oh, yeah, I forgot. Cosplay Barbie, Department of Homeland Security broad, Kristi Noem. Aside from her being a complete moron, and aside from her trying to cosplay every day as an ICE agent, look at me, I got a cowboy hat. I'm a fucking Border Patrol agent today and all this bullshit. Well, come to find out, she's still living like a party girl, okay? She went out to a hot, fancy dinner, and while she was, I don't know what she was doing. She obviously wasn't paying attention because guess what? Her fucking purse got stolen, and guess what? $3,000 in cash, her fucking identification, and all this fucking private bullshit of her being Department of Homeland Security, and we don't know where the fuck it is. Oh, yeah. Department of Homeland Security, by the way. Take a look at this. Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem fell victim to a thief while eating at dinner at her downtown Washington, D.C. restaurant Sunday night. And by the way, that's Easter. Isn't this bitch a family whore or something? Isn't that what she ran on? She's out in the fucking town at the swanky area where all the fucking goddamn Washington, D.C. lobbyists are, for fuck's sake. Anyway, Noem, who was asked about the theft, at the White House Easter egg roll, acknowledged the incident and said that the matter had not been resolved. The Secret Service, which provides security for Noem, reviewed the security footage and at the Capitol Burger restaurant and saw an unknown white male wearing a medical mask steal her bag and leave the restaurant. So the thief got away with Noem's license, medications, apartment keys, passport, DHS access bag, makeup bag, of course, blank checks, and about $3,000. So this person right here is supposed to be protecting the fucking homeland. She can't even protect a goddamn purse. Unfucking believable. So there you go. MAGA. Make America great. MAGA. Jesus Christ. Unfucking believable. A fucking thief. I was able to make out with her purse. I mean, that's some shit that some dumb bitch in the club does, man. What the fuck? Now, if it isn't that, you've got this eyeliner-wearing vice president that made an unannounced trip to the Vatican. You know why, right? He's trying to fucking perk himself as like, hey, I'm Mr. Catholic man. When in actuality, his wedding was in Hindu, so I don't know how you figure that out. But right after J.D. Vance visits with the Pope, the fucking Pope takes a dirt nap. All right? J.D. Vance is meeting with Pope Francis before his death, sparks conspiracy theories. Look, the guy was fucking on a deathbed. All right, they were wheeling him around. I heard that right after the event, or right after him meeting with Vance, he went into the Pope mobile. Fucking waved hi to all these people. He overdid it. He was 88 years old. All right, he's an old fucking prick. But anyway, after this visit with the Pope, where do you think he went next? Where do you think J.D. Vance went next after the visit with the Pope? India. Thank you. Come again. I'm not even kidding. That's where he went. So I'm just saying. All right? Anyway, let me take some of these buy me a coffees that came in. Sorry, I'm trying to get through everything, man, all right? There's Jeffrey Ghosteen. Yeah, real funny, dude. Yeah, we service my schmeckle. And Ghost's landlord. All right, on a most serious note, the World Economic Forum is truly one of the most atrocious cabals of the most evil elites. And Klaus Schwab is unironically a goddamn James Bond villain. I agree with that. But in real life, and I despise that whole Zoomer movement of nomadic or minimalist living, the man wants our young to eat goddamn bugs, for Christ's sake, like a bunch of backwards goblins, born in a seed pod, live in a seed pod, die in a seed pod. Nuke the WEF, love my landlord. Well, that at least I could somewhat agree to that. All right, but then again, as I stated, my landlord, these people wanted this, so they got it. Now, the most dangerous part about all this, what's the alternative, right? What's the alternative? The alternative to Trump is even fucking worse, in my opinion. Have you heard about this? Look at this. Dark woke is what the Democrats are now pinning themselves. They're trying to get more edgy now. They got this one sister, was it Jasmine Crockett, who are snapping a Z and fucking, waving a head and talking a bunch of nonsense, and I guess the left is getting behind her. And if they're not getting behind dark woke, which I don't know what that's a reference to. I don't know if that's a reference to. I don't know. I don't know what that's a reference to. All right. But if it isn't this broad, who's the only one making noise out here on the Democrat side, that could potentially be something, which I don't think so. I mean, she's just a loudmouth broad, in my opinion. She's like your typical bitch that you see in the goddamn theater that won't shut her fucking mouth. But if it isn't her, it's this stupid fucking idiot and Uncle Bernie. All right? AOC seizes the moment as Democrats see a new identity. They want a new identity. How are you going to have a new identity, dumb bitch AOC, when you're fucking sitting there standing next to Bernie Sanders, who didn't get a job until he was 40, all right? And has been a public servant and has made millions off of pandering to a bunch of desperate, poor fucking people. Fuck Bernie Sanders and fuck you, all right? And that's the bad part about it. We have no leaders. We have nobody. America has nobody that we can depend on. And why? Because these fuckers, they're not espousing any fucking new ideas. Trump, he wasn't espousing any new ideas in 2024. We have no ideas. Okay? And that's why I'm calling on many of you that are out there. We need idealists. We need somebody to advocate something that is going to benefit this country, that's going to benefit the continuity of this country, and that's going to benefit the general American public. But unfortunately, we don't have that person in the American public. This is all we have. These pieces of trash represent what America is. Like many of you morons, whenever I do a ghost show, you say, oh yeah, a chat reflects the streamer. Yeah, the fucking assholes that we elect. Like this Dunsky, fucking AOC. She's been in Congress already for, 5 years? Fucking 6 years, whatever the fuck it's been. She hasn't learned shit. You would think that, hey, now that I'm elected to Congress, maybe I get a tutor or something, and maybe I get know foreign policy. She doesn't know shit. And you want to know why? She doesn't do any interviews. You want to know why she doesn't do any interviews? Because she's a fucking idiot. All right? You go to one of her town halls, she confiscates all the phones so that she can't be filmed looking like an idiot. So, I mean, this is what I'm talking about here. This is all our alternative. This is what America has. All right? Fucking, I don't have much optimism for the country. All right? I hate to say this. I don't have much optimism for the country. We live in sad times. Somebody said in YouTube, yeah, we live in sad times is right, man. I can't tell you. All I can tell you is this is a government made for the people and by the people. But the only people that are running are no different than the people in power. All right? So let me give you an example. I believe now that the Democrats are gaining momentum to landslide in the midterm election. But if they landslide in the midterm election and then somehow get the presidency in 2028, they're going to do what Trump's doing even worse. Because Trump set the fucking precedent. And the Democrats are going to go and do their version of authoritarianism, just like Trump. So I'll tell you right now, we are truly screwed in this country. We are truly. I'm almost tempted to not do True Capitalist Radio anymore because I don't know what the fuck to tell you. I have no idea what the fuck. You don't listen anyway. Nobody listens to me anyway. All right. I mean, I said that everything that we're experiencing now was going to happen throughout all of 2024. I challenge all of you to go back in that archive. I said all this shit was going to happen. And throughout the whole time, you jagoffs are like, you're a fucking Democrat, guys. Yeah. And King Charles III, I'm not reading all that, all right? That's a fucking copy pasta and nobody gives a shit, all right? And Gino X 1987, can you talk about Canadian politics more on your show? We got an election happening, unlike America, and we have to last longer than 1 day for early votes. Okay, well, look, Gino, you're voting for Mark Kearney? Are you fucking kidding me? Anyway, Canada has to rearrange its debates because of hockey. So that's why, if you want my opinion, I'm not really covering Canadian politics. And by the way, maybe you're going to be the 51st state. Who knows? I mean, according to Trump. Anyway, look, let me go through a couple of more stories and let me get the hell out of here. I am going to do a show tomorrow, The Ghost Show. All right? I do The Ghost Show every Tuesday and Friday, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, The Ghost Show. And it's different than this show. It's tomfoolery. All right? It's not serious. Because, I mean, we're living in hard times and people need, some good times. And that's what I try to do on the Ghost Shows, give some good times, all right? Anyway, let's talk a little bit about the international stuff. We had a temporary ceasefire, at least announced by Putin, over the Easter weekend. And even though he announced that there was some kind of a ceasefire going on, he still was striking Ukraine and then ramped up the strikes right after the supposed ceasefire. So I don't know where this is going. I heard Marco Rubio, I think, on Friday, suggest that we may just walk away. You know that? That's what Marco Rubio said. He's the Secretary of State. He said, if we can't get anything done, we're going to walk away because America has to deal with other problems. And if we walk away, then Europe's going to come in. And I think that, we just inevitably started World War III. Because I don't think Putin is going to stop. All right? If we pull back, I think that he'll start bombing London. I think that he could start moving in more western on some of the Baltic states. There's a bunch of things that I think could unravel because, as I stated, Putin is dependent on this war at this point in time. It's what's keeping him alive. And if he was to somehow have a ceasefire and end the war, I think that he could potentially be taken out from within. Because there's a lot of people that disagreed with this war in the bureaucratic infrastructure of Russia, but are afraid to step on his nuts because he has this wartime economy and because he's playing his security pretty close to the chest. And anybody who he thinks is a threat to his authority, they're eliminated. They are eliminated. So he is acting like Stalin at this point, and I don't think that he wants to stop the war. He can't. All right, it's keeping him alive. It's keeping his economy alive. If the war ends, what's going to happen? He has to restructure the economy? He has to, okay, we're all going to go back to work. We're all going to produce this. No. All right, he's there to the end. I mean, he's pot committed. He's ride or die with this war. And if we back away and Russia knows that we're not going to back up anybody that he continues to invade, then we're going to see a conflict between Europe and Russia. So, I mean, look, it's not looking good. And I don't understand why Trump even thought that he was going to be able to end this war in 24 hours, which he backtracked, by the way. I don't understand why he thought that he could do that. Did he think that he was real chums with Putin or some shit? I mean, Putin is an unadulterated despot, man. He's a fucking dictator. He's been in that position since 1998. It is 2025. He knows that all he has is perpetual war. And the minute that war ends, that's the end of his life. That's the end of his life. So that's where we're at when it comes to Russia. And by the way, I talked about it on the last show, that there are fucking Chinese soldiers that are out there fighting in the theater of combat in Ukraine and Russia at this point. So China may be helping at this point. This may be a military commitment between Russia and China. Why? Because Trump induced this to happen. All right, he induced it to happen. All right, we could be hit up right now. And I've said that I really believe that China, if it really had the balls, I think it could hit us up right now. I would be, if I were Xi, I would hit up Hawaii. I would hit up Hawaii and tell the United States they did it because of the belligerence that the United States was causing, the attempt at upending the international order, and I guarantee you that China would have more support than the United States. And it's because of Trump and how he's made us look. I'm not joking around. I'm not saying that because I'm pro-China. I know the position we're in. We're being gutted from within. All Doge did was gut us from everything that you can imagine. That's why planes are falling from the fucking sky. All right, that's why planes are falling from the sky. Watch, we're going to see food poisoning. Remember the FDA? I don't know if y'all read it here recently. They're fucking getting rid of all the fucking regulators and shit that, overlook food quality and shit. I mean, it's fucking stupid. We're being gutted. All right, we're being gutted. And look, China doesn't give a shit. I mean, by the way, China, not only has it warned the United States, it's warning other fucking countries as well. I mean, it's like, look, you better not stop trading with China because of the pressure of the United States or else. And if this happens, in my opinion, we're leaving Xi no choice but to hit us up. All right? Because right now, even though we're suffering economically, and we're going to suffer even more, China has been suffering for about a couple of years, and they're still suffering. All right, they're still suffering. And if we continue to put the economic pressure like Trump is doing, and I'm not just talking about the tariffs. I mean, Trump is pressuring other countries not to do business with China. And if Trump convinces other countries not to do business with China, then you're leaving China no choice than to hit America up or hit up Taiwan or hit up something. I mean, in my opinion, if I were Xi, I think Hawaii, if I wanted to hit the United States, very attractive target, nothing the United States would do about it. I would hit up Australia, invade Australia. Are you fucking kidding me? Australia wouldn't stand a chance in a fucking invasion, in my opinion. But that would be a little harder to justify in the optics of the world stage because then you look like the belligerent. Or go after Taiwan, which I think would be a quagmire. I think it would be a quagmire for... it would be China's Ukraine. So anyway, once again, that's where we're at this point when it comes to China and Russia. And China is rapidly facilitating their tech. I mean, as I stated on many different shows, the only thing keeping China together is the fact that they invested so much money in tech and it's now reaping rewards and reaping at least optical benefits on the world stage. They're showing off their robots. Matter of fact, did you see that ridiculous robot race? All right, China actually had a robot marathon that were, robots running with human beings, and then it looked horrible. I mean, it didn't make robots look very good, all right? Only one of them made the finish line, and none of them beat humans. So they got a long way to go to mass manufacture, Chinese, fucking a Boston Dynamic grade fucking robots. I'll tell you that right now. But anyway, once again, China, the only thing keeping them together is this nationalistic spirit that was spawned when DeepSeek was unveiled at the AI conference in France. And the reason DeepSeek is such a big deal is because it shows that big tech in Silicon Valley was slow rolling their technology. They were trying to suggest that, we need all these data centers. We need all this power. We need all these chips. We need this. We need that. When in actuality, the Chinese were able to do what ChatGPT and all these other fucking AIs claim to do with less chips, with less memory, with less power. And that's right there. Believe it or not, that is what's keeping China together, is the nationalist spirit that was inspired because of DeepSeek. I'm not fucking kidding. If it wasn't for that, I think Xi Jinping would have been removed by now. I think it would have been removed. And so what if it was trained by Western AI? It doesn't matter. It can run on less chips. It can run on less power. It can run on less memory. That's why Microsoft has canceled their data centers. These big, huge fucking $500 million data centers, they've canceled them because they realize they don't fucking need them. So there you go. All right, that's where we're at right now with China. All right, I'm not saying that there's some big badasses, but we're not in a position now to confront China. because our allies fucking hate us. Because Trump took a fucking took a fart on their fucking suit, and now they want some compensation. And of course, Trump ain't going to give it to them. You know what I mean? Now, with that being said, let's transition to something that maybe some of you will applaud. Trump was convinced, allegedly by Tulsi Gabbard and Tucker Carlson, not to participate in the Israeli potential bombing of Iran. All right? I'm not joking. That came out about, what was it, Friday? That Trump says that he has ruled out bombing Iran, which, I don't know, man. All that shit you were talking, Trump, it kind of makes you look like you have your hand on the fucking chicken switch. All right? But okay, it seems like the United States isn't going to bomb Iran. But take a look at this. Israel is still thinking about it, baby. Israel is still thinking about it, and it's thinking about a limited attack on its nuclear facilities. And I don't know what's going to transpire on this, because according to Iran, they're prepared for anything now. We have been threatening, Israel has been threatening, and they have been preparing. So they are prepared for anything at this point in time. So if Israel does just bomb the nuclear facilities, I think it's going to be a harsh reaction. I think it's going to be, hey, let's give them the kitchen sink reaction by Iran. So I hope that Israel thinks very thoroughly about this and doesn't just go in half-cocked. All right, I'm just saying, because I think that Iran is going to launch the kitchen sink in Israel. And I'm sure some of you anti-Semitic people are going to be like, hey, that's great. Yay, spaghetti. But anyway, be on the lookout for that. All right, folks? Anyway, I know we have a lot of gloom and doom. I know that it's a lot of bad news. So let's transition. All right, we're at the end of the broadcast. Let's transition to something I like to call totally useless news. How about that, huh? How about that? Totally useless fucking news here, all right? Now, our first article about totally useless news is out of the UAE. Did y'all hear about this? The United Arab Emirates cabinet approves first of its kind AI regulatory ecosystem, meaning that AI is going to potentially make laws in the UAE. So we're already transitioning, all right? I mean, that's kind of what they want to do here. I mean, that's what all that aggregation of data by Doge and all that shit, that's what this is all about. AI. As a matter of fact, you had Bill Gates, was it sometime this week, and which is what I said about several years ago, that in 10 years, AI is going to wipe out most employment that human beings can do. As a matter of fact, Obama reiterated that this weekend and said it's going to be the biggest unemployment to human beings since the post-industrial revolution. So, if it isn't the kamikazing of the economy by Trump and his tariffs, it's going to be AI and the integration of automation, the integration of robotics. So, welcome to the machine, my son. Welcome to the machine. I mean, they're going to be making laws for these fucking sheiks out here in fucking UAE. Are you kidding me? Anyway, let's get to another totally useless news article here. Did you hear about this? This is unbelievable. NYC woman dies after an unlicensed surgeon tried to remove her butt implant. All right. Is this the...
to get wrinkles.
Look at this.
It's gone mainstream, but so have the fakes. Counterfeit Botox is appearing from coast to coast now, and it can be dangerous. Juju Chang with more.
On Instagram, this med spa promised clients radiant skin, friendly service, even a machine that they said could give toned abs. And for many patients, the hope for a fountain of youth. But now prosecutors accuse this man, Joey Grant Luther, of injecting clients with counterfeit Botox, causing ailments from double vision to botulism.
Counterfeit
Henry
Botox?
Callender, who's not part of the criminal complaint, thought he was getting a smooth forehead for a fraction of the normal price.
It's like a very handsome, a lot of work done to him.
But instead, Henry says he ended up with what he says was an allergic reaction.
So I got injected and I had this kind of blow up. Looked like a giant bee sting, considering what I've heard from other people and reading some of these complaints. I definitely got off easy and I was lucky to have this
you
reaction
vain asshole.
as the only reaction.
This week,
you're
the
a vain
54-year-old
jerk.
Luther Luther was arrested
Luther?
and charged with wire fraud, smuggling, and crimes related to the handling of counterfeit drugs.
Do you have anything to say?
WABC filmed the esthetician walking
Oh my
into
God,
his
look
building
at this
after
fucking
he was
guy.
released
Jesus Christ.
on bail.
Looks
What
like he's
once
from
was
fucking Lazy
stigmatized
Town.
By some has gone mainstream. Almost 5 million Americans got Botox in 2023.
Oh my God. All right. We don't need to hear this. All right. Jesus Christ. But anyway, doctor killed a bitch by removing her butt implant and died on the table. Unlicensed, by the way. Good God. And if you think that's bad, all right, if you think that's bad, vanity, okay, that's bad. But did you hear about this? Only in California. You people in California, I don't know what the fuck is, I don't know what's happened to you people, all right? I wouldn't take a dirty diarrhea shit in California. I'm not even kidding. And you want to know why? Shit like this. World's first sperm race to be held in Los Angeles. Can you believe this shit? Look at this. Spermracing.com if you want to participate, by the way. An unusual startup announced the world's first sperm race, a race involving actual sperm, be held April 25th, so it's around the corner, at the Hollywood Palladium in Los Angeles. The Sperm Racing, a startup founded by a team of young millionaires, announced representatives from two competing schools, the Southern California, University of Southern California and University of California at Los Angeles, will provide microscopic swimmers for the inaugural race. All right? So there it is. I guess play a little bit here. Oh, wait a minute. That's just making fun of it's a massage in a bottle song or some shit. I don't know. But there it is. A sperm race in Los Angeles. I mean, would you, take part in a sperm race? Would you, jerk it? Jerk the gherkin in a little cup and, have the scientist, put that in a turkey baster. And I don't know I don't know what the fuck that means. And so what? You win. What does that mean? That you got strong sperm? Yeah, you maybe not do the pull-out method? I don't understand. I don't fucking know. And look, people in the chat, do I get paid? I'll do this shit. No, well, I don't know if you get paid. I don't know. I mean, I think it's just the notoriety of having strong sperm or some shit. I don't know. Anyway, last but not least, all right? Only in Europe, all right? And it's actually one of the European countries that actually likes Trump, Italy. Did you hear about this? I don't know what it is about Europe and wanting to pussy pamper their fucking prisoners. I don't get it. But you hear that? Put the PC shot on. Italy unveils its first sex rooms for prisoners. All right, sex rooms for prisoners because, God forbid they get pent up because they can't fuck anything because they're prisoners. Handcuffs will come in handy. Italy unveiled its first sex rooms for prisoners after court ruling said that those who are locked up have a right to intimate meetings. Oh, Jesus Christ. Only in Italy, only in Europe do they care about people who commit crime in their fucking countries. All right? And look, I'm not saying our prison system is any better. I mean, I think that we need prison reform because whatever we're doing there is not enough of a deterrent to prevent people from doing crime. All right? As a matter of fact, most of the urban demographic that does crime, they think of going to jail like taking a vacation. And when they come out, they pretend like they just graduated from fucking graduate college, cum laude or some shit. Like you're supposed to pay them respect. So I'll tell you right now, we need to do something. I know this is totally useless news about Italy, but we've got to do something about prison reform here. It's not enough of a deterrent. All right? It's not enough of a deterrent. And all you people that are like, cruel and unusual punishments, you're a fucking idiot, man. All right, you're a fucking moron. We need to start cracking down on crime. And that's what I want to see going back to fucking Patel, the FBI director. That's what I want to see from him. That's what I want to see from Cosplay Barbie. Stop this fucking madness that's happening in the inner cities, man. Put these people away and put them away for life. We don't need people that are going to be committing fucking acts of violence randomly. We don't need people that are going to be fucking thieves in this fucking country. All right, we need harsher punishments, man. If you're a thief, I agree with what Saudi Arabia does. If you're a thief, you fucking get your hands chopped off. All right? You get your fucking hands chopped off. Or at least one hand so you can have the other one to jerk it with. And if you fucking steal again, you fucking get the other one chopped off. I hate thieves. I fucking hate thieves. And yet, they get the, least punishment. I mean, over there in California, we're just talking about California. I mean, you got to steal $1,000 worth of shit before the cops even give a crap out there. I'm telling you, I am not joking, we got to have harsher punishments in this country. The punishments are not a deterrent. All right, we need to deter crime. And if they think going to jail is like a vacation, then what's the fucking point? All right, folks. Anyway, thank you all for tuning in with me. This was another edition of True Capitalist Radio. As I stated earlier, the reason my X or Twitter did not stream this True Capitalist Radio is because they locked my account for 7 days because I told that fruity-ass fucking limey bastard, Russell Brand, to do a flip. To do a fucking flip. All right? So I got to wait till Saturday before I can gain access to my fucking X account, even though you can find pornography on X, even though you can find just gore, violence, threats. You get people threatening everybody. I mean, give me a break. I just told this stupid fucking sexual predator charlatan to do a flip. All right, to do a fucking flip. Anyway, folks, thank you all for tuning in with me once again. I usually do True Capitalist Radio on Mondays. If I have enough juice in the batteries, I will do one on Thursday as well. But probably, it depends on what happens on tomorrow's Go Show. The Go Show is my alternative show. I do it at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time every Tuesday and Friday. Tuesday and Friday, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. And it's more of an internet tomfoolery show. We have a lot of fun. We steal the night together. And, a lot of times we have movie night at the end of the night. Very, very fun stuff. I appreciate the new Go Show. That's why I'm doing it more. I'm doing it more because I appreciate it, man. I mean, the text-to-speech just fucking ruined it for everybody. And people are now coming back to the show, and they're starting to recognize that, hey, it's not that fucking text-to-speech. It's not that www bullshit. Anyway, folks, thank you all for tuning in with me. If you haven't done so, add to your bookmarks and add to your favorites my official website. Type this in your browser right now. Ghost.report. If you would have checked up on Ghost.report, I announced that I had gotten locked out of my account. And fuck you, Elon, you fucking prick. Anyway, thank you all for tuning in with me. I'm going to be doing a Ghost Show once again tomorrow, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'm going to go in to the True Capitalist Radio chat room here right after the show. I'm going to just kick back for about 20 minutes, maybe 30, 20 minutes. And you can get to the True Capitalist Radio chat room by becoming a member. All right? And all you got to do is go to buymeacoffee.com/GhostPolitics. All right, here it is right here. All right, buymeacoffee.com/GhostPolitics and go down here to become a member. All right? Be a serious person. We don't want any trolls. All right? Nothing but serious conversation in here. We're talking about finance. We're talking about business. We're talking about politics. We're talking about international relations. We're helping each other out in there. I'm telling you right now, if you're a part of the True Capitalist Radio chat room, you're navigating all this madness. I'll tell you that right goddamn now. Anyway, until next time, folks, thank you all for tuning in with me. I'm going to be on tomorrow for the Ghost Show. Until next time, I'm out of here. Woo!